What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Bo Levin here.
Kendall Levin, and today's video is going to be all about how we built a six-figure food business and how you can do it for yourself as well.
Now you're probably wondering what the food business was. It was healthy prep meals on the go. Now, right, everybody's doing that nowadays, but when we started it, there was nothing in Amarillo, and we knew that we could take that market.
It wasn't like restaurant style, it was just healthy prepped meals that you could have for a healthy lifestyle. And we did this and built this business up while we were doing real estate on the side, we were doing some insurance stuff, just a bunch of different things.
It wasn't our goal to be like our full-time gig. The way it started is you'd order online Thursday through Sunday, and it's all online orders, online order only, and then those orders would come in, and then on Monday we'd actually start cooking the food Monday morning, and then we'd go until super late that night, and we'd let people pick them up on Tuesday from 5 to 8 p.m. after work. So really, we had one full day of working in there, and we were able to do this by building to a six-figure business on the side.
Yeah, and the main thing of why we started this business is because we were active. We like to go to the gym, we like to eat healthy, and every online company that we would look at nationwide was expensive at the time for us, you know. The meals were expensive, and we thought Amarillo doesn't have anything local like this, so let's bring that to the Amarillo area. It was the perfect thing that we needed here.
So guys, if you made it this far, please like and subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate it. At the time, we didn't think that we would actually end up being the cooks. We actually started this business. I reached out to some people that I knew that were cooking or had kind of a catering business at the time. And so we approached them and said, hey, you know, you guys handle all the cooking, and what we'll do is we'll do the marketing and we'll make this thing grow. And that's what we were good at, is the business side of things, and obviously let them handle the cooking. Well, things did not go to plan with those partners. Most of you know, I'm just gonna tell you right now, most businesses don't work out with certain partners. Now, some work out great because we have other partners and things, and it's unbelievable. Our business is growing like crazy. There's some that just don't want to do the work. So if your job's to be a cook and be really good at that, being cooking, you got to make sure your food tastes really good, and that was one of the big problems.
Right. But even though we got rid of those partners and they weren't part of the business when we moved on, that's okay if partnerships don't work out. You just have to keep going and tell yourself, who can I hire in place of them, or how can I build my business better to make it work without them?
So that's all good. It actually worked out for the better. We went out on our own, just kept running this business that we already kind of built and marketed ourselves anyways. We got a family member to help us out because Kendall and I were not the cooks. I mean, we could cook something basic, just like throw some chicken together or whatever it might be. But this really changed the game for us to become like a little bitty wannabe chef, because we had to learn pretty quick to get going and how much chicken we were making per week.
Right. If we would have been cooking it, I just would have put some salt and pepper on it and said, here you go. Nobody would have bought our meals. It was great. We had a family member help us out, and we came up with really good recipes that looked appealing. And that's one of the biggest things, is we wanted to make sure that, you know, when people are ordering food, they're not going to buy it if it doesn't look good. Made it sound appealing, look appealing.
Yeah, and those recipes too, a lot of people go out and they do this business. Like, I've seen them grow and pop up all over the place. But they go out and they think that you're wanting to get shredded. They think their average clientele that's buying all these prep meals are wanting to be shredded and super fit and bodybuilders. That's not what it is. People just want a healthy solution. And that was the thing that me and Kendall marketed towards. We marketed towards a healthy prepped meal that you could still kind of get, like, where it felt like you're cheating, but you honestly weren't. So that's why, if you're trying to grow this business, make sure that you're offering those options too, and it's not just chicken, asparagus, or rice, or whatever it might be. Throw in there, like, we had like one that was like chicken strips with a mac and cheese, right? And we use like whole wheat and the mac and cheese, and different instead of butter, we used all different types of stuff in. I can't even remember, it was a while back.
Well, and it wasn't fried either.
Yeah, and then we put it in the air fryer. So we could call it like chicken strips, but for some reason, things like that, those meals, we would end up selling like 200 of just those meals on that weekend. And it was the craziest thing ever.
Because, like Bo said, people just want a healthy option that they can fit into their everyday lifestyle. And it's all about portion control too when you're trying to be healthy. You don't necessarily just have to make it so plain and boring to where you hate it. We just made it appetizing for people, and they could have their meal on the go.
All right, so you probably want to know the numbers real quick. This business we built doing almost 100,000 a year. And like I said, we had orders coming in Thursday through Sunday. We worked for maybe 14 hours, 15 hours on Monday, and then we had pickup and delivery on Tuesday for a couple hours. So I mean, that's a pretty good paycheck for 14 to 15 hours on Monday, and then you only had the 2-hour pickup on Tuesday. And so we did that for 2 years. And this was on the side, while Kendall was still finishing up school or college, I was still, selling houses. And then we were also flipping a house too while doing this. I mean, that was some good extra income that gave us a lifestyle that we could enjoy and go out and do.
And we set it up that way to be able to do our other businesses on the side. Like, this was extra income for us, and we enjoyed doing it. But those couple hours that we would work on Monday and then we would do deliveries and pickup on Tuesdays, that really wasn't, a whole lot of time. And we set it up that way on purpose.
Let's get into it. And we're going to teach you how we built this 6-figure food business within 2 short years. All right, the biggest one for everything is marketing. If you quit marketing, your business dies. But we were good about marketing. We didn't have a huge following at the time. We didn't have a lot of people knowing what we were doing. We didn't learn all those aspects of that thing, but we knew how to at least post on Facebook. So I would post on my Facebook and I'd get everybody hyped up and say, hey, I'm launching this new business. It's really cool. It's gonna be in a commercial kitchen. I kind of like hyped it up and led up to that point, and then posted a website where it kind of like was a preview of what it was gonna be of Healthy Prep Meals. And you gotta think, there was nothing else here in Amarillo at the time. So whenever I did that, people were commenting on it, liking it, sharing it. And then we were super smart too. We did giveaways. When we would launch it, do a post like that, I would post a picture of the meal and say, hey guys, I'm giving out like 5 t-shirts and picking 5 people in the comments. That's really how we built this business, from doing a post. It just scattered all over Amarillo, and then we ended up having like 3,000 or 4,000 clients in this database from that, doing that over and over again in a short period of time.
We did it on Facebook. I would post on my Instagram, and that is the best way to market yourself, is social media, and get the word out to thousands of people versus not posting it at all, and then people drive by this little new business and they never even knew that it went in there. But the more people that you can get to see and exposure that you have for that business, the more people will share it, the more word it will get out, and then they're going to want to try it eventually.
Yeah, and it did take a while too, because I had a lot of people that were kind of keeping up with me, and I feel like for the longest time I was kind of like the joke of like, oh, what else are they starting now? People didn't really know how big our businesses actually got during that time, and I eventually had those people ordering from me like every week, and so it was kind of cool to see of like building this 6-figure food business over here, and then also yet we're just selling a flip house over here, and then I'm selling houses for these clients over here, and Kendall's getting her college done, and it was just the craziest thing ever to do this. You can do this on the side. Yeah,
that should be the end goal, is to make it very successful, and then we always had a purpose and an end goal for every business that we've done. Okay, so we tried to make the process super simple, just like any online business or anything that you're running, and all of our orders came through our website, and we would get people's money up front. So they would go through and pick out what meals they wanted. They'd go ahead and pay for them. So we had all those orders and all that money coming in Thursday through Sunday for a reason. Yeah, that reason was, like Kendall said, is to get the money, because I see a lot of people that do this business, and I'm like, so you're fronting all the money for the food, and then all of a sudden they might back out, and then they don't think you're as serious. Because if I get them on my website and they pay for these pictures of these meals they're seeing, I know that I just sold them, and I had a minimum of 5 meals per person, or 5 or more. And so they would get on there and order those 5. So I was guaranteed, a $65 order at that time. And then I had that money deposited. So by Thursday through Sunday, though, those orders came in, I would literally have all the money into this account that I could go out to the store, and I would just use that account to buy all the groceries at a time. Right, because then, as a food business, that protected us from buying extra food and just having to use it as waste and throw it away. Well, that's a lot of money that you're spending every single week on extra food. So we knew exactly how much food to buy, calculate it up, and we wouldn't waste anything. Yeah, nothing. And the best part was, too, is while we were doing all that, we actually had our meals, too. So a lot of times you actually end up ordering, we calculate it pretty good, but you say we might have like an extra 5 or 10 pieces of chicken, 5 different sides. And so we would just mix and match, and then we'd have our little meals for the week that was included. And then also it ended up costing us, we got it downward to a T. I mean, to a T. For our meal containers, I knew if I put that piece of chicken in there, I knew what that ounce cost me to cook it and put it in your meal. And so we had that calculated up. So we knew if we went to the grocery store, say $5,000 on Monday after we sold all these meals, we knew that, hey, 20% of that is going to cost us to buy food. So we need to spend 20% on all the food. That's going to get us everything that people ordered.
And then we knew the other 10% we would set back for like rent or, you know, just equipment that you might need to buy, just depending on what it is.
Yeah, miscellaneous. And we already knew, you know, what to add in for shipping costs, and a pickup is obviously free if you're local. Delivery, because that takes your time and your gas. He would do delivery. I would stay at the store for the 3 hours on Tuesday night while everybody came and picked up. And we had a really good process of how everything worked to make it super smooth.
This is where it got hard. We didn't think at the time that it would grow this fast and this rapidly. Well, all of a sudden, once we really got our like process down and had it going, it was just me and Kendall. And so every week we literally busted out like 400 meals to 450 meals. Very super clean, had everything lined out. That was the longest like 14 hours that we ever did in one day of straight cooking, because obviously that's not our passion, is to cook and everything. It was super cool whenever you went on Tuesday and you had, you know, 150 clients coming to pick up food and you were dropping it off at different places, and all those people that supported us in Amarillo. So if you were one of those people, like, we truly appreciate you and supporting us through that journey of the food business.
Yeah, it was a great business and we loved doing it. And like Bo said too, that process, the food process and cooking, I give props to everybody out there that owns a restaurant and does the food business, because it is a lot of work and it is very tiring, and we only did it like one day a week. But we did have our process down really smooth and really easy for us. He would print out all the orders, we'd go through, check them off. I mean, we had everything in line and very organized. Okay, so now you might be wondering, how can I do a healthy meal prep company business for myself? And if you're interested in doing that, we're gonna go through step by step really quickly to show you some of the basis of how to get started.
First off, you gotta figure out, okay, I need to find somewhere to do this. And a lot of places, they let you rent their kitchen. So, you know, there's like different like enterprise centers in town, or like a college enterprise center. A lot of times they have commercial kitchens that they let their students cook at. And most time you can go rent that kitchen for like $100 an hour or whatever. So sometimes it's a lot cheaper than that, but I'm just saying it just depends on where you are. Right. And you can rent it for that day, and then you're not obligated to any lease, nothing. So say there's a week you can't cook, you don't have to pay that week. And so that's a nice thing. You just call up there and say, hey, I need to book it this Monday, and then you can have it lined up, and you don't have any obligation to lease, rent, utilities, nothing.
And then the next thing would be to figure out your process, get a business name, whatever you're gonna call your business, and then establish a process. Okay, this is how I want my calendar to look every single week. I wanna cook on these days, I want to ship out or pick up on these days for local customers. Figure out that whole process of how you want it to go. Yeah,
and remember, people want to start their week on Monday, right? Or everybody starts their week on Monday. They want to be, healthy. Like their first day, they're going to go to the gym and be motivated Monday. They want to have those healthy meals Monday. So however you need to do that, whatever you need to freeze those meals and over the weekend or whatever, just make sure you're getting people their meals on Monday and Tuesday, because they want to start the week fresh.
You've found your location, you've got your process down, how you want to do things. Next would be to market yourself. Let people know that you're going to be opening this new business, that it's going to, stay tuned, we're launching in 1 month, and start leading up to it, because that attracts a lot of people to your page, and then they'll be looking forward to ordering from you.
All right, next one is you're going to figure out all your costs. So you're going to need to know, like, okay, if this meal goes out, it is costing me this price with the container, with my labor, with all that added in. And then, of course, your spot, too, because you need to factor, if your spot is, say, $500 that day, you need to divide that out however many meals you sell. And, this is costing me $1 a meal now because I didn't sell enough meals or whatever it might be. You need to add those in and get those costs figured out before you get going.
Get all your numbers in place, because it does cost money to rent your spot, to order all your containers. Maybe you want some stickers on there that say your business name. You're going to need kitchen equipment in your commercial kitchen if there isn't any. So the numbers and how your business is going to work that way is important too.
And now get your website set up and do professional photos. However you need to do that, make sure they look just delicious where you want to eat it yourself. Because if you get on there, I've seen some websites, I'm like, whoa, I would never order that. It looks disgusting. You're just going to make sure every meal looks very appealing and that you would eat it yourself. And then also get your e-commerce site set up. We used some different ones. The best one that we ended up using was Shopify. And it was a great website. And that's why we stuck with that. We uploaded a menu every week, and it was only like $60 a month to use it.
Yeah, there's a lot of different options out there. So establish your menu, figure out what you want to serve. It can change weekly, it can change monthly, figure that part out too. And then, like Bo said, make your photos appealing. Lighting can go a long ways.
And the coolest part too is whenever we finished it, instead of just shutting it down, it was really awesome. We sold all like the equipment and stuff off, you know, our tables, all the prep stuff, because all that stuff's really expensive because it has to be NSF certified. And then the cool thing too is we were able to sell like our clientele list because we had several thousand clients, and that was the best part is we got to walk away with money, and we were excited, and we were still doing other deals. And so I was like, hey, it's pretty cool being an entrepreneur.
Yeah, because then that was like when we transitioned into full-time real estate. So we did not just build this six-figure food business up for nothing. We got to sell it, and that was very rewarding at the end of that because, you know, we felt accomplished in a way.
And we appreciate you guys watching. If there's any questions that y'all have, make sure to comment below, and we would love to help you guys out. And we could post more, you know, if you love this video, we could post more details later on in other videos of any details to walk you through it and help you guys out.
Right. We love the feedback and we love the support. So thank y'all.